So now we're going to learn a little bit about secondary colours. These are the colours that are created when we mix the primary colours. So a secondary colour is when you add two primaries together. So a primary plus a primary. So if I add primary yellow to primary blue, that colour will be green, which is a secondary colour. If I add red to blue, so primary red to primary blue, I will get purple, which is the secondary colour. If I add primary red and primary yellow together, I will get orange. So our secondary colours are orange, green and purple. And the order that we're going to paint them in, first of all, is lightest to darkest, so orange first, then green and then purple. So now we're going to either use a mixing tray or you can use the studio tables. And this gets a little bit trickier now with paint consistency. So we don't want it to be too thin, we want it to be nice and thick, just like normal. So first of all, I'm going to start off with orange, which is yellow, add red. So I'm going to put some water into the yellow. And again, you are spending about 10 seconds trying to get that colour, get that water mixed with the powder. After about 10 seconds, once you've got that sort of milkshakey texture, that milkshakey consistency, you are going to use your paintbrush, scoop out the liquid and then roll your paintbrush. So scoop, roll, scoop, roll, scoop and roll. So I know that I need to add red to yellow to make it turn orange, but I don't want to add too much red because it is quite powerful compared to the yellow, which is quite a weak colour. So I'm going to pick up a little bit, probably about that much, and if I mix them together it should go orange. If it's too light, I can always put more red in, but what's really tricky to do is take the red away. You'd have to add lots and lots of yellow to try and make it lighter. So I'm quite happy with that orange colour. So now what I'm going to do, again, get your hand nice and comfortable and just have a look, make sure before you start painting, have you got the correct triangle? It should be right in the middle of red and yellow. So I'm going to scoop a bit of my colour up and I'm going to start right in the middle. And just double check that your colour is very different to the yellow and the red. If it's not, you can mix a little bit more red in it or a little bit more yellow into it. Using the tip of the paintbrush, all of your painting lines, your brush strokes, they go in the same direction. You might have to really keep picking up more paint with this one. So following that outline, and then just take care near that edge that you don't go out of the triangle. And there we go, our orange section is complete. So just wash your brush so that we're ready for the next colour. So now we're going to move round to blue, add yellow. So blue and yellow creates green. So let's start mixing that. We are going to wash our paintbrush carefully. And I'm going to pick up some yellow. So adding water to the powder, 10 seconds, or until you've got that milkshakey consistency. And then you are going to scoop, roll, scoop, roll, scoop and roll. Now because yellow is very, very weak compared to blue, which is very dark, we are just going to use the smallest bit of blue. And there we go, I'm quite happy with that green colour. If you feel like your paint is too watery, you can keep scooping some more mixture to make it a little bit thicker. So I'm painting in this green section now. So scooping up my green. And I do think mine's a little bit watery, so I'm just going to scoop up a little bit more powder. That's better. So following that outline, starting from the middle, just remember every time your paint runs out on your paintbrush and it starts to go a little bit see-through, just pick more up. And there we go, the green section is complete. So next we are going to move over to purple, which is red and blue together. So I'm going to wash my paintbrush. I am going to add some water to the red and mix that round. Scoop it out, roll. Scoop it out, roll. Scoop and roll. So in comparison to the blue, the red is quite weak now. So I'm just going to wash my paintbrush. I'm going to pick up a little bit of blue. And I'm quite happy with that purple. It does look much darker on camera than what it actually is, by the way. So that's more what it looks like. So I'm going to start from the centre, brush strokes in the same direction, nice and small, no wide gaps, staying inside the lines. And all of your brush strokes are now working towards the edge of the triangle, the edge of the colour wheel. And there we go, that's all of our primary and all of our secondary colours added to our colour wheel. The next thing to do would be to start and add our tertiary colours.